the news all the time. And tonight I thought we'd look at something slightly more different, slightly more global in aspect and more serious. Because there's a lot of news coming out about Taiwan and escalating tensions in Taiwan between China, which is over here, and Taiwan. Well, China declares that Taiwan is China. And the people of Taiwan say, no, we are Taiwanese. So where is this place? So here's the global map. And UK's over here. This is Africa. Russia's up here. This is China. United States is over here. And this is the Pacific Ocean. And then we've got Japan up here. South Korea. And we've got the island of Taiwan. As you can see, it's very close to China. In fact, it has a very small island here called Kinmen County, which is also Taiwan. So this is China, and this little place here is Taiwan. So yeah, there's been a lot of tensions. Been drones being flown by possibly by the People's Liberation Army of China, possibly by citizens flying over this territory in forms of escalating threats against the country. And there's pressure which is being put on by the president of China, which is Xi Jinping, who has said to his population that he is going to take Taiwan back under Chinese control. So I thought we'd have a little look, because there's a lot of stuff going on today. Well, this first bit is Kinmen, which is that little island off the coast of China. It's 10 kilometers, 6.2 miles east of the city of Ximen in the Fujian province. Yeah, it's a major island of Kinmen. It's got several surrounding islets, and it has a strategic location, but it belongs to Taiwan, and it's here, so it's very close. And yeah, so what is going on? Well, China-Taiwan tensions are going through the roof at the moment, mostly because Nancy Pelosi, who is the US House Speaker, has made a visit to Taiwan. And this, to the Chinese government, is a statement of intent from the US. It's a declaration that the US considers Taiwan to be Taiwan and not China. And that has made the Chinese government under Xi Jinping very angry. And so tensions are escalating in the area to a point where there could be an invasion from China into Taiwan. And so Pelosi visited the self-governing island this week in defiance of a series of threats from Beijing, as we know, which views Taiwan as a breakaway province, but Taiwan believes it's its own country, and warned that it would consider the visit a major provocation. Well, what is going on? Well, as tensions in the Taiwan Strait simmer, what's at stake for China? How worried should we be? China's military has announced joint air and sea drills near Taiwan and test launches of conventional missiles in the sea east of Taiwan. This is according to state media. 3 of the 6 live fire drills will overlap with sea territory, which is claimed by Taiwan. And yeah, so this is ahead of the exercise, which are due to begin on Thursday. Taiwan said 27 Chinese warplanes had entered its air defense zone. So it's got echoes of the Russian build-up conflict towards Ukraine, and I think is being seen in a very similar light. If we look at where these zones are, and see that these exercise areas around here, some of them overlap, like this one overlaps with this territorial line here, as does this one and as this one. So these are overlapping with sovereign territory. If you could imagine someone flying aircraft over Dallas or something, some hostile nation flying their military aircraft over sovereign territory of the United States, it would be seen as a massive provocation. So it's quite serious. So looking at the usni.org website, which is looking at how China would move against Taiwan if it was to attempt an invasion, it's unclear what the lessons the Chinese military have learned from the Russians' invasion of Ukraine, but they learned to go big and go early from America's quick victory in the first Gulf War. So this is probably the strategy they would use against Taiwan. A big push with a lot of troops very, very fast in a short amount of time, limiting what Western powers can muster and put on the actual battlefield within 48 hours. However, this could get messy very quickly, and it could become a slog, as always, as the Russian situation became. But these people don't expect China to have the same nuts and bolts failures that the Russians have experienced in logistics and command. You've got to remember China is right here, so it can build up a huge amount of troops and move them across quite easily, and it's a lot more organised than Russia. So yeah, difficult. So the question is, what would Biden do? Would Biden defend Taiwan if there was an invasion by China? Well, in a press conference in Tokyo on May 23rd, a reporter asked that question: are you willing to get involved militarily to defend Taiwan if it comes to that? And the president responded with a clear answer: yes, that's the commitment we made. So this answer sent shockwaves across the Indo-Pacific. That's the area we're talking about, because formerly the US has had this concept of vagueness, which allows the US to act militarily in certain circumstances or to work diplomatically in certain circumstances. But in this case, President Biden has clearly just said yes. If there's a military attack, are you willing to get involved militarily to defend Taiwan if it comes to that? Yes, that's what the commitment we made. Wow. So, I mean, that's cards on the table time. As expected, Beijing strongly denounced the statement, claiming that Taiwan is purely China's internal affair and brooks no foreign interference. So, yeah, to many, Biden just upended or turned over or destroyed the decades-long US policy of strategic ambiguity, because that was useful, in which Washington has never explicitly confirmed whether or not the United States would come to Taiwan's defense. Well, it's going to have to now, because of that statement, or under what conditions such involvement would occur. This policy gave the United States the ability to decide on its own terms, without overcommitting, how to approach a military contingency regarding Taiwan. To others, it was just another gaffe, but it doesn't seem to be. Who doesn't quite fully understand US policy? It doesn't seem to be, because he's repeated it multiple times. People have asked, speculated, whether his statement was a gaffe or a misstatement, but this is the third time since August 2021 that the president has said something like this. It seems therefore safe to assume that his answers are true and a statement of policy and not gaffes. So, as he's been consistent in his response, using similar or identical language when asked about Taiwan, I think we can safely assume that that is the US position. And if Taiwan is attacked, US will defend Taiwan against China. That's against China, and China's serious. So, what has the US been doing in terms of helping Taiwan in methods of preparation? Well, this is Donald Trump from 2017 to 2021. This is supplies of weaponry to Taiwan. So this was in June 2017. It was some standard missiles for the cost of 125 million, 168 lightweight torpedoes, some heavyweight torpedoes, 46 of them, electronic warfare systems, AGM air-to-ground missiles. These are Tomahawk missiles, HARM missiles. These are surface-to-air missiles. So these are anti-aircraft missiles, and there's 50 of those. SRPs, which are early warning radar system, spare parts for aircraft, training for aircraft, missiles, 108 battle tanks for $8,000 million. Heavyweight submarine-launched Sirius torpedoes, more surface-to-air missiles. A huge amount of stuff has been shifted from the US to Taiwan. 11 M142 artillery systems, Harpoon coastal defense systems made of these missiles. This is all from Donald Trump's era, and now in the Biden era, 2021, it's almost nothing, which is very strange. 40 of these Paladin howitzers, and then some Patriot, but it's just the program, and some technical assistance and some spare parts. So I don't know what's going on with this. I can see a massive build-up of weaponry from the Donald Trump era, and then nothing. Perhaps they're relying on this. I'm not sure. So why is it all happening? What is going on? Why is China being so bellicose, so aggressive? Well, it seems China is currently in a massive issue in terms of property sales. There's property sales in China could fall by 1/3, spelling more trouble for the country's giant housing sector. People have lost faith in the market, and pressure is increasing on struggling developers to complete pre-sold apartments. There's a bailout of the housing sector. This could cost 44 billion. There's going to be a fall in sales, twice as bad as formerly forecast. There's major issues with disgruntled buyers of apartments in 100 cities withholding payments because there's been some issues with banking and irregular financial payments. But the problem here is, for the general person in China, the general citizen, there is only one form of investment that's possible, and that's housing. There is nothing else because of the control the Communist Party holds on the financial system. So the normal person can only buy houses, and if the housing sector is suddenly under pressure and is going to lose 25% of its value, you can see that the government of China is under serious threat and is worried that it's going to see uprisings. And what's the best way to overcome uprisings? Then to rattle some swords, to do some shouting and some nationalism, some jingoism. So that seems to be the issue. The housing market is collapsing in China because of poor financial mismanagement on a massive scale. Only available financial products for the Chinese are housing, and that is collapsing. And so for Xi Jinping, the best option he can come up with is to shout and rattle his sword at Taiwan. But it may lead to more if he's looking at the Russian-Ukrainian situation and thinking, we're better organised, we're closer, we have better weaponry, we have more of it, we have more people. Perhaps we can do a lot better than the Russians could. Maybe we should make a go of it. But do the Chinese government want to actually get drawn into a war with the US over Taiwan? But the President Xi Jinping has stated that is his policy of his term of office, to take Taiwan. So he's going to have to at some stage. But we shall see. Let me know in the comments what you think. Slightly more serious topic today than usual. And like and subscribe. And ask any questions. If you want to ask any questions, I'll try and do some research and find out things. And let me know. Okay, I will see you guys later.